um, what would you say to an up and coming entrepreneur or someone trying to start their business? What would you say? What would be your words of encouragement? And instantaneously, I don't know where it came from. Instantaneously, out of the mouth I spewed, be a towel. I mean, be a sponge and not a towel. And I gave the analogy why I felt like a sponge is more valuable than a towel. We're talking about a hand towel or a towel you clean with, something like that.
You said grab what again?
The microphone's on my side of the bed in the black box. Yep. Yep. They might be on the coffee thing. But yeah, so they asked the question, how would you encourage the up and coming next youth entrepreneurs? So I said, be a sponge and not a towel. And so with that analogy, I've been thinking about it all week for the last 2 weeks. So we're going to dive into it. This is going to be more of a secular side. Tomorrow, I'm going to get you guys to get on live with us at our church, Purpose Life Community Church, under the pastoral leadership of D'Angelo Lofton. We're going to discuss it from a biblical principle of why it is that God desires us to be a sponge and not to be a towel. So here we go. Hey, what's up, James? How you doing, brother? I love that last name, man. That last name got power to it, if you didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask my wife this question. What would be what do you think of the difference is between a towel and a sponge? What is the difference?
The difference in a towel and a sponge is not only is the material that it is made from, but also the function in which you can use it in. I've been doing a lot of research on the differences, the characteristics of a sponge and a towel, and it's quite interesting.
Very interesting. Yes, sir. Listen, I think I reached out to you when we first got here about. Can you hear this? Can the microphone? Yeah, James. Yeah. We got to hook up here soon. I'll be in Newport News every now and then. We come up through that way. Next time I'm up that way, man, I'll reach out to you, man. We have a Dooley family reunion. Oh, it's out, bro. I know you're gonna make it famous. I'm gonna make it famous with you. I promise you. I promise you, we're gonna make it famous. So we're talking from the perspective of the difference between a towel and a sponge. Can you hear this? Can you hear this, Mike Princess? Can you hear?
Test it.
The people on the video have to say.
Okay.
All right. Can y'all
What's
hear
up,
us?
Nova? How are you? How's my grandson? Glenn, what's going on, Glenn? How's everybody doing? So this is where we're going to discuss really quick why it is that we speak on being a sponge compared to being a rag or a towel. A rag. They both serve the same purposes. They all got the same purposes, but they use differently. So the purpose of a towel and a sponge, the purpose of them is, watch this, to clean you. Both of them are able to clean. They're able to they clean surfaces, right? They soak up in a certain extent. They soak up whatever they have been laid in or laid on. They soak it up.
Right.
And they're used to wipe up. Lou, what's up, big sis? How are you? Trying to crawl at 5 months. I showed a picture. I showed my wife a picture of him in his Lightyear uniform costume. Little handsome self.
He is.
He's a handsome. I need to hurry and get myself back down there real soon. So the sponge being different though than that of a towel. So how does this affect a business owner? How do we use this as business owner? If you're trying to start a business, what is it about being a sponge that differentiates between being a towel? Let's talk about that for a second. If you're a business owner, what does it in your mind? What is the vision of a towel? Towel is a flat surface, right? It's normally made out of like cloth or some type of nylon, whatever it is. I just recently found out in study time that it's also made from wood. We know that wood is an absorber. It absorbs. So it's an absorber. And it is undifferently than that of a sponge. Sponge is made of a fibromicro type plastic. It has multiple holes in it, and the holes are used to what? Soak up. All right, it soaks up. Cloth has cloth is a nylon type thing that has millions of holes in it, and it doesn't. It wipes up, but it doesn't soak up. I'm finna say something real good to y'all in a minute. I'm finna say something real good, like we always do. It wipes up. It grabs moisture, but it does not soak up like that of a sponge. What you got so far?
The different characteristics that drew me is, if you look at the sponge in its natural setting, the natural setting. Now let me back up. The sponge, the towel. Look at the towel. How it is. The different weights yields different expectations. The different weights yields a different expectation, and what that means is, the thicker the towel, the more you can expect from it. The thicker the towel, the more you can expect from it. So like in the kitchen, you have the thin towels, and it's just a white. It's not going to do anything. It's just white. If you put it on something wet and you swipe it across the counter, it's just going to move it right along. It's not going to absorb anything. The thicker the towel, like a bath towel, it's going to still white, but you're still going to be a little bit wet. The thicker the towel, you can expect more. That's what I got.
That's good. That's good. All right. So now let's talk about, as a business owner, why do I want to be a sponge and not a towel? Here's why, and we ain't going to be on here long, I promise you. We got a lot to do tonight. If I am starting a business, I want to be a sponge around people that are giving out information that's going to help benefit me in the long run. I want to be able to soak up every piece of information they got. And the reason why I want to be able to soak it up, watch this, because it holds on to that it has soaked up. Now I just said something good. Y'all didn't catch it, right? Whatever it is that somebody that are 2 or 3 steps ahead of you is giving you as far as information wise, you want to be able to soak it up, absorb it, watch this, and be able to hold on to it. My wife just said that when you take a towel or rag or towel, when you're going and you lay it over top of something, it does not necessarily absorbs it. It takes in just a little bit, and the rest of it gets smeared on the surface. As a business owner, I don't want to just get a little bit of information and smear that information because I'm not going to get the benefits out of it that I'm supposed to get out of it. I want to be a sponge and be able to absorb everything that's being said to me, hold on to it, and be able to release it when it's time to be released. I just said something good.
When it's time.
Hold on to it and begin to be able to. You got to be able, as a sponge, you have to. What's up, Gabe? How you doing? What's up, Naquaeus Johnson? How are you? You have to be, as a business owner, everything that you do, especially if you're out researching first, you want to get all the information that you need to get, right? How to get funding, what funding look like, what are some of the obstacles that we ran into, or some of the downfalls of starting a business. Do I really need a business partner? What's up, Gary? How you doing? Hey, love you too, big bro.
Hey, cuz.
What is do I need to have all this equipment? What are some of the inspections? I can only really talk food, but it goes with everything. What are some of the inspections what are some of the inspections I need to be dealing with? Who are some of the people I need to have in my corner? Fire inspectors. Where can I go and find equipment? All these things are things I need to absorb. I don't need to get them at surface value. I need to be able to absorb this information, and then when I have it, to know that I can hold on to it for a later date. What's that say? Love you, Gabe. Love you, man. Lou, I appreciate that. That's some good teaching right there, right? That's some good teaching. Wait till you get to tomorrow when we on Purpose Life Community Church. You guys got to follow us on YouTube, Purpose Life Community Church, under pastoral leadership of D'Angelo Lofton. Follow us, and we're going to dive deep into this on the spiritual aspect of it. Right now, we're talking about how to start, how business owners need to be sponges and not towels. And then what a towel does. Here's what a towel will do. A towel would think you got it absorbed until you go to pick it up and use it. And then everything that you thought was soaked up and absorbed will begin to leak. You won't be able to obtain or not is obtain the word I'm looking for. You won't be able to hold on or sustain the information that you got, because you're going to be over here, because you're not remembering everything. They just told me who I need to talk to, but I forgot to do this. And everything that you were supposed to absorb, when you begin to operate and begin to move in it, it will begin to leak. Why? Because you chose to be a towel and not a sponge.
Not a sponge.
Yes. You guys are good people. We need more. Man, I love you, bro. I love you. It goes naturally, sis. It goes naturally and spiritually. This is true. It definitely does that. It definitely goes naturally and spiritually. I like the fact that we can get on here and be able to speak to some of the people that want to be entrepreneurs and don't have the necessary resources. Right? They're so curious. They want to research on Google. They want to do this, but you have people in your circle or people in your town or people in your household that's trying to give you the proper information. But because of where you're at, sometimes you're not mature enough to handle what is being given to you. And instead of sponging it up, you begin to towel it up and you begin to smear the information that you're supposed to be absorbing, and you're not getting, or you're going to take the long route. Because think about this. Think about this. As a towel, it takes me more time to clean up the mess. Yeah. It takes me more time to get to the finish line of what cleaning up, of what, if there's a spill, right? If there's a spill, if I take a sponge and set it on the spill, guess what? The sponge does the work. Right. The sponge, because of what it's made of, how it's been made, and the purpose of it, it begins to absorb the information. It'll begin to absorb what has been laid on. A towel, watch this, gives off a fake sense that it has obtained the information. We talking real, we talking real good to y'all entrepreneurs. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are giving you the information that you have the power to absorb it. Right? They want to give you all the information, and they're not going to allow you to smear the information, because just like me, I hate wasting my time. I hate my family will tell you I hate wasting my time. If you want to get information from me, I'm going to sit down and we're going to dialogue. We're going to do everything. I'm going to give you everything you're supposed to be if you're a sponge. But in the midst of our conversation, if I see that you're a towel and you're taking advantage of the information I'm trying to give you, and you're not allowing yourself to absorb it, you just want to take it at surface value, I'll cut you off. Right. And I will allow you to continue to be the tower that you have chosen to be. Because yes, it looks like you're doing what is necessary or what you're supposed to do, but you're just smearing the information. And you're not intaking. You're not taking in what you need, and you'd rather go around that mountain 20 times, just like the children of Israel, right? Just like them. Instead of having to do a journey that only took 10 days, it took 40 years, and people had to die out, right? Generations upon generations upon generations had to die out before they was able to get to a place where they're mentally could say, man, why are we going around this? We already defeated this. We've already learned this. But because you want to smear the information, you don't want to take control of the information that you're getting. You'll take disadvantage. What's the word I'm looking for? Not disadvantage.
Not take advantage.
You won't take advantage of the information that's being given to you.
Let me jump in there right quick. One of the characteristics that I found out about a sponge, or I already knew, but it just jumped out at me, is in a natural setting of a real sponge, it's unmovable. It's unmovable. So it has to figure out, it has to take up everything. It has to be firmly planted. It is firmly planted. It has to take everything that's coming this way in order to survive, in order to give off what it needs to give off. And that creates an out of the box thinking.
That's good. That's
Out
good.
of the box thinking. So how am I going to eat? How am I going to survive? How am I going to, if you are a sponge in the workplace and you are unmovable, you're not, oh, I'm going to be here a short time, or I'm just going to here for the moment. If you are unmovable, you're going to take all the information you need to learn so you can be successful in the business that you're in. But if you're a towel, you're all over the place.
You're all over the place. A sponge has the ability to stand firm in the midst of what it's been placed in.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking real good? A sponge will absorb where it's at, right? And when it's time to, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Mm-hmm.
But just like my wife said, right? You have to be steadfast in what it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? As a business owner, if I know, I have to ask the question, how am I going to pay my bills? What's up, big sis? How are you? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of my staff? How am I going to do this? Do I have all of my affairs to get my business started? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Karen, how are you? Do I have all my business affairs? If people are telling you these things, you have to stand firm in what people are trying to tell you. That here's the next piece that has your best interest, because a towel doesn't have your best interest. The towel just want to look like it does.
Hello, Pastor.
What's up, Pastor? Hey, listen, so this is my pastor, Pastor D'Angelo Lofton. We are Purpose Life Community Church. Listen, tomorrow, he's allotted and afforded me and my wife the opportunity to come forth. We're going to do his life class at the church. Listen, we're going to be online, as well as on the 31st. We having Harvest Fest down at Purpose Life 4406 Indian River Road in the big city of Chesapeake. What's up, nephew? How are you? So from 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
And come on out, get a chance to meet and greet the pastor, get a chance to meet the Dooleys. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I have other things going on, but the food truck will be there. The CEO will be there.
Come on
the
now.
Big boss will be there. You get to see some of the ministers, some of the elders, the mother of the church. All that's going to be there. So make sure y'all come. What's up, Pastor?
Pastor
Hey,
Steve.
Pastor Lofton. When I tell you, one of the wisest people, she caught me when I was a green Christian. I had just got saved when we moved to Arizona, and I had a chance to get up under her teaching. Man, I tell you what, I probably put her through the ringer, man. But I love the fact that she never gave up on me. Watch this. Here's a great example. Mm-hmm. She never gave up on me. She allowed me to sponge off of her. She allowed me to be able to get attached to her. I mean, she welcomed us into her home. Mm-hmm. She fed me and my family. Yeah. We went through issues, and she never left my side, and she always poured into me, even when I was messing up, when I was still learning this stuff. She never gave up on your boy, and she allowed me to sponge. So everything, Pastor, that you see that we're doing now, a lot of it, 99% of it, is the foundation of Pastor Joyce Stevens. Apostle Joyce Stevens. I'm sorry, Apostle Joyce Stevens. She's in Pennsylvania, woman of God. I love her so much. She has always have a special place in my heart. I always say she's my learning ground. That's where I actually was able to. This is a great example. This is she was a great place where I was able to be planted and begin to absorb the information that she was pouring out, even when there were times I was an example of a towel. She was telling me right from wrong, but instead of doing right from wrong, I began to be a towel and begin to smear. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm talking real good. I begin to smear and take advantage of her wisdom,
the information,
take advantage of her knowledge, because I felt like I don't even know, I wasn't better than I felt like a humble son, but I felt like the prodigal son. I was still out there looking. I was looking at the royalty, but I wanted to live the way I was living because I didn't know. I really didn't know. And when I got with her, I had to learn how to be a Christian. I had to learn how to be saved. I had to learn these things. and she opened up a platform for me. And again, like I've always said, Pastor, I love you. You are my foundation from when I first got saved. You helped me grow. That's a great example of a sponge. I never let go of what you was teaching me, even at times when you probably said, that Negro ain't getting it. All right, let's get back to this, man. I just want to give you your accolades, give you your flowers as much as I can. Do truly love you. Yeah, truly love you. Where do we stop off at?
Similar job differences in responsibility.
So there's a difference in responsibilities of a towel, and give me 5 more minutes. We're gonna get off here. There's a difference in the responsibilities of a towel compared to a sponge. We know that there are similar things because they have similar attributes. They have been created to do certain things. And the main thing that sponges, if you look at it, the main thing a sponge and a towel compared to is how they clean up. There's a comparison, right? But here's the difference in it. The difference is how they clean up, why they clean up the way they do, and how they absorb, right? But we're talking from business owners. Tomorrow we're going to talk spiritual. Business owners. How many business owners that are on here right now have learned how to be sponges in your learning, in your beginning of starting a business? How many of you have learned how to be a sponge? And what I mean by be a sponge, be able to take in all the proper information that you need before releasing it or before releasing yourself to go and get started. You got to get information before you can get started. How many of you have taken the time to know that you need to have an LLC? Looked into making sure you got your EIN number, making sure that your name, you have a legit name out here, making sure you have checked into your insurance, because insurance is extremely important. Making sure that you know finances in the food industry like us. Make sure you know your food costs. Make sure you know what it costs per item to break this thing down so you're charging properly. Everybody might not agree with what you're charging as long as you know that you're charging properly, right? The right thing. Because if you use a high quality product, you don't want to purchase steak for $10 and you sell it for $12. You ain't absorbing this stuff right. You losing yourself. You'll never be in business if you don't got that information. Make sure that and what we learned early is that you need to have an accountant. We almost lost our business once off taxes. We almost lost it. We almost lost it off of back taxes. Make sure you get with people that's going to give you the proper information that you need in order to make sure that this journey is easy. This journey is easy, and just know that you're a sponge in knowing that God gave you creativity to be different. And because you're different, people want to pour into your difference. You have a product that the world is ready to indulge in. You have to be the sponge enough to know that at a certain point, I've soaked up enough. Here's the last part, and then I'm gonna get off. Let's let my wife finish it up. Here's the last part. As a sponge, right? When the sponge have absorbed as much information as it has, and it's time to watch this. I love when God gave me this analogy, but I'm gonna love this. When you have absorbed all the information that you have absorbed, this is what the sponge does that the towel doesn't. The sponge will allow you, watch this, to squeeze out what is necessary to be released. It does not mean that you can go and squeeze all the information out. You just need to squeeze out what is necessary for you to get to the next level. And what it does is, what you did not squeeze out, watch this, it holds on to it for the latter. Man, I just blessed somebody with that one. Man, listen, I felt good right here. Because of who I am, I'm able to release enough of what I got to get what I need. And still be able to, watch this, hold on to those things that I still have not came encounter to, that is going to be on my journey. And when it's time to release it, then guess what? I can go back and release what have been soaked up in that situation and be able to move forward. Why? Because I have the proper information stored inside of me, because I chose to be a sponge and not a towel. Finish it off, Princess. No, sweetheart.
Just two things that you have said, and I want to expound on. A lot of times when we enter into a situation, we already know. We already know. People trying to tell us, but we already know. I know, and they, but so we won't listen to the advice, the wisdom that they trying to impart into us because we already know.
You already know.
And because it's not that we already know, but we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. So it's like that paper towel, the quicker picker upper, the Bounty. It thinks it already know, but when you put it on, it's not going to soak up everything. So just watch what kind of paper, what kind of towel or the sponge are you going to be? The ones that already know, or the one that's ready to soak up,
That's
so
good.
you know that you know.
That's good. Now that's good, man. That's really good. I didn't even think about that one. That's really good. Because if you know, you'll be a towel. And you won't soak up what people are trying to give you. And then you're going to go to a situation and you're going to say to yourself, man, I should have listened.
Should have listened.
I should have listened to what they were trying to tell me. But because I know it all, now I'm in the bind in the situation that I'm in when I didn't have to go down that road. Man, y'all good. Listen, we just want to get on here and give y'all a little bit, man. Y'all have any questions before we get on?
Let me jump one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing. A sponge is resilient. It has that bounce back mentality.
Now that's real good. Now, I like that.
That bounce back mentality.
I like that.
So no matter what goes wrong, good or bad, you can learn from your mistakes. You can learn from your wins, but you have the ability to bounce back.
Man, that is good. But boy, if y'all don't got, boy, if you ain't get blessed off just that, now I thought I gave you something when you can squeeze and hold on, but when you can get that bounce back is good. That bounce back go back to what I said. I like that. I like that. Listen, y'all got any questions on anything? We're about to get ready to get off here. We still got some stuff to do tonight here in our home. But listen, love y'all, man. Thank y'all guys so much, man.
Thank you
really
for tuning
appreciate
in.
it. Man, it's such a pleasure. Pastor Apostle, the bounce back, Pastor the Apostle, the bounce back. Man, that was more, that blessed me more than the absorb and releasing. I never thought about it, but it makes more sense when you squeeze the sponge, right? You squeeze everything out. Guess what it does? It goes back to its original. It goes back to its original form. It never loses its form. It bounces back to that. That means I got enough resilience and strength, even in the midst of me just giving it all. I know that I can get it all back and return. Man, that was good. That's good. That blessed me right there. Man, I might got it resaved all over again just because of that one right there. I got to bounce back. That's gonna be the name of the subject. That's the subject. That's the subject tomorrow. The bounce back. The towel versus the sponge. What is your bounce back? What does your bounce back look like? You've been in hell and high water. We're gonna keep it spiritual, and you've been through all the obstacles of life. You felt like you wanted to give up. God said, if you just trust in me, if I abide in you and you abide in me, whatever it is that God release me from this hell in my mind or the stuff that I'm dealing with. I need a bounce back. And God said, I'm here. I've never left you. I never leave you nor forsake. Whatever it is that you're going through, you have the ability to bounce back. Why? Because God is with you. God is, man, let's get off here. Listen, can meet us tomorrow. We're gonna go into it. I'm gonna give you scripture. We're gonna go through all of that. It's about a 45-minute life class. Meet us at Purpose Life Community Church. We're on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Meet us there. We're gonna be there. Give you a 45-minute, and we're talking about the spiritual aspect of a towel versus a sponge. Hey, it's your boy Big Cam.
I'm LaTanya.
And we're the Dooleys, and we are
marriage,
business, and
ministry.
Hey, peace out. Love y'all.